Welcome to Oregon's City of Sunshine. Today's stop of the e-bike destination tour brings us to Klamath Falls, Oregon. Come along as we check out what Southern Oregon has to offer. Thanks for joining us on the next stop, folks. Today we're going to be exploring Klamath Falls, Oregon. It is just about 20 miles north of the California-Oregon border, about 2.5 hours or just under from Bend, 250 miles or so from Reno. Definitely a destination that we were pretty surprised by. We've driven through Klamath Falls a number of times, going back down to California or coming back up to Bend. And while we've seen some beautiful sights along the water, we had no idea the amount of trails that we could find and the amount of fun we could find here. So we're going to showcase some of those features today. In this episode, we're going to be taking a look at Moore Park, the trail network there, and also focusing on Spence Mountain. It is a really amazing trail network up at Spence. It was, up until very recently, privately held land that the county has recently acquired. It's, I believe, 7,000 acres and currently about 50 miles of purpose-built mountain bike trail. They're hoping to get it up to 70 in the next few years. We're going to be meeting with someone from Discover Klamath, some of the trail builder crew, and members of the Klamath Trail Alliance to learn about what Klamath Falls is up to.
Well, we're in our 10th year of development at Spence Mountain, and we're pretty privileged to have 7,500 acres of young timberland. And right now, after 10 years, we have almost, well, at the end of this year, we'll have over 50 miles of trail. 70 miles is a master plan.
And there are an additional 20-ish miles at Moore Park, correct? Which is close to town.
Yep, that's a great urban trail system close to town, and pretty blessed, I'd say. We started with two of the best trail builders, I think, in Oregon, and if not the Northwest. And we've been building away some very honest black diamonds. Our blues are very, I'd call them blue plus. We have a lot of rock here.
Okay.
And we do have a fair amount of green trails. We have, like the trail right behind us here goes along the lake shore and the marsh. And so we have a mixture of family friendly all the way up to pretty rowdy black. So
this place is fully e-bike accessible. Thank you. Tell us a little bit about that process and why that was important to KTA.
Partially, you know, we've invested a lot of money over the 10 years of development. I'd say close to $1 million.
Wow.
And a fair amount of that has been tourism money, and the new owner, Klamath County, really enthusiastically embraces e-bikes, wants to promote the fact that we allow e-bikes. So yeah, pretty neat.
So the goal is to get more people coming here and riding their bikes.
Exactly.
Either e-bike or regular bike.
Exactly.
Okay.
Communities into it, and they're noticing the difference of professionally built trails, like purpose built, not just kind of people going out ragtag and throwing in their hand built lines.
Right.
That they notice straight away. They notice the difference and like, oh, this is a good option. So community got behind it and just really helped with fundraising and support.
Okay. Here at the bottom of Spence Mountain, what do you think, Rob? Takeaways.
Some seriously fun trails.
Okay.
Really nice mix, some kind of raw and rugged chunky stuff thrown in there. The majority of stuff seems to be a little bit more on the flowy side and built, but I like that. And it's a lot of fun. And I think even you had fun and yeah.
Definitely did. I had a lot of fun. We had a really good mix. Kiwi Paul took us out, gave us a little bit of the VIP tour, which was really nice and let us get to and access more trails quicker than even an e-bike would have allowed us to. Awesome views, wide, nicely built, good flowy corners for the climb at speed. From there, I mean, dude, we made our way over to Speed King. What was the standout for you there?
Yeah, it's really well built. You can have the option, it still flows well if you roll through stuff. Really nice supportive turns, and then optional gaps that we've been pulling for and having a lot of fun trying to make.
After dinner last night, we had the conversation of what was coming up for breakfast the next day. And while we did get some good recommendations, sometimes we like to get a little dirty. We heard Starvin' Marvin's is the place for big breakfast. We saw the picture of a massive cinnamon roll. How confident you are about finishing the cinnamon roll?
See what I can do.
Okay. Had gotten a little ahead of himself, but he claimed, no problem, I can down that thing. So we're now going to Starvin' Marvin's.
There you go. Syrups. This is Marionberry, and that's regular meat.
Could I ask, how many people have ever finished one of those by themselves?
They usually that's a 4-dayer for one person.
He came in here confident he's going to finish this.
Yeah?
We'll see. That's incredible. Like, yeah, put myself in a place of pain and still fail.
Just hearty. I mean, that's like 5 bites. So when you're coming to visit Klamath Falls, there's a number of opportunities when it comes to lodging, camping. We were lucky enough to stay here at the Running Y Resort. If you look just over my shoulder there, that is Spence Mountain. It is probably the closest place you can stay to the riding trails and still be pretty close to town. It's kind of right in the middle, so it's really nice. They've got a restaurant on site, grocery store on site, an awesome 18-hole Arnold Palmer golf course. This is a really nice, inclusive resort and hotel experience. Also really nice is that they've got a spa. Lots of other activities are nearby, so if you've got someone who's not a rider, or maybe you want to have a rest day and do something else, definitely some cool stuff to check out.
Oh! Oh, he's dead.
So if you're coming down to Klamath Falls and you need to stop by a bike shop, chances are you're gonna be meeting this guy, because Zach's Bikes is the only bike shop in town. Zach, you've been here since 2004, you said. Is that correct?
We opened our business in 2016.
Okay.
So.
But you've been living here, a local in Klamath Falls since 04.
Yeah, yeah.
Over the course of the years that you've had the business and been riding here, what would you say has been the trajectory and the growth?
Oh man, we're growing exponentially at this point. You know, the Spence Mountain trail system has just done numbers for this community. You know, both in bringing free people from outside and also just getting more people locally riding. It's absolutely amazing.
How would you say most of the people are finding out about Spence?
So people find out about Spence all over the place, I'd say. Riding with friends is probably the biggest thing, but coming in here and finding it on the trail maps, you know, you see people on social media, you know, riding these places, and yeah, it's not hard to get hooked.
So when people come to town, are you finding a lot of people come here for info or just to check it out and talk?
Yeah.
Where do most people come from, you think?
All sorts of places. We always try to encourage people to ride Spence Mountain. I mean, we get people from you know, Southern California driving up through Bend. I mean, we're on a main artery travel-wise, and that makes it pretty awesome in that regard. So we get to share this wonderful gem that you know, most people wouldn't have even stopped at.
And you were saying earlier, Moore Park, which is another big trail network. You take a lot of the high school kids out there regularly to ride.
Absolutely, yeah. Really wonderful resource right downtown here.
Yeah, you said it's a 5-minute pedal from your shop.
Yep, yeah. You just pedal down Main Street and you're at the trailhead.
Well, thank you, Zach. It's awesome to see what you're doing here, and one, from, you know, just having a great business, but helping out with the kids in the community is always rad, getting that next generation. So thanks for taking a few to chat with us, and look forward to coming back and riding with you.
Yeah, thanks, Drew.
We're here at Putnam Point with Darren Rutledge of Discover Klamath. Darren has been a vital resource in our planning of this trip, making sure we can check off some solid places. Darren, tell us a little bit about Discover Klamath and what you guys are hoping to bring for visitors who are looking to come to the area.
Yeah, you bet. We are Klamath County's destination management and marketing organization. Primarily for Klamath County, as you guys have seen, we're marketing the outdoors, the recreation, the natural beauty, Oregon's only national park and Crater Lake, that kind of thing.
Okay. Where does the mountain biking and e-biking specifically fit into that picture?
They're growing exponentially, really. We're really starting to get a mountain biking population here. Klamath Trails Alliance has been working on building a trail system. They've actually started in a couple of networks that they've now tied together. So, you know, from downtown Klamath Falls, you can get out all the way out to the West Side Mountain Trail system without having to hop on highways.
And for people who are maybe bringing a family or aren't exclusively looking to mountain bike, what are some of the other hot items that people got to do while they're here?
A lot of water sports, kayaking, paddling, stand-up paddleboard, boating. It's kind of an outdoor mecca. What you see behind us is Upper Klamath Lake.
I mean, we're here kind of on the tail end of spring, and I feel like the greenery, the flowers that are out on the mountain, that's pretty awesome, and I feel like we're still getting a little bit of that good dirt before it gets too dry and blown out. But
yeah, it's nice. We have this, I was just talking to someone the other day, we have this window, usually about this time, and depending on the season, it lasts for a couple weeks up to a couple months, but everything's green, but there's still snow on the mountaintops. Yeah. It's a pretty neat time of year.
Yeah, it's definitely a cool spot, and after spending so much time just driving by on the freeway, getting down here and seeing so much more beautiful stuff and driving around the edges of the water is really neat. Yep. So thank you for hosting us. We had a great time.
Absolutely. We're glad you guys came down.
Cool. All right. Thanks.
Well guys, thank you so much for joining us here at Klamath Falls. It's certainly been a lot of fun for us, and I hope you guys have enjoyed checking it out as well. It's definitely a destination that I think you should be adding to your list. What do you say, Drew?
Absolutely. I think it was a real eye-opener for me, again, as someone who has driven past this city so many times, getting out and seeing a whole other side that was so beautiful I didn't even know existed, and obviously spending time on the amazing trails. Spence Mountain is a gem. The mountain bike specific built trails out there are great and only getting more. And then here at Moore Park and Moore Mountain, there were some really fun, little narrow, raw, kind of scratched in trails. If you like that kind of rugged side hill backcountry feel, it's literally a 5-minute pedal from downtown across the street from this beautiful park and view. Yeah, Klamath Falls, absolutely impressed, very cool, and a spot I definitely think you guys should put on your list. Thanks again to Klamath for hosting us, the Running Y Resort, and all of the crew at Klamath Trail Alliance. Keep up the good work. We'll definitely be back. See you guys on the trails.
The crew, the viewers, I'm sorry.
Yourself, your family.
Yeah, but really there was no losing there.